What's going on, everybody? My name is James Reiner, and it's been a while since I did kind of a collection video, so I figured I would do a pickups video. So that being said, welcome to the first ever episode of Game Collect.
Now let us listen to the music and identify the beats.
So recently, I've been collecting a lot of video games. It's what I like to do. It's a hobby, you know. All of us in the video game world like to, you know, go out and get games that we like. And so I've been buying a lot of games over the past year, and I haven't really done a pickups video, and I figured I'll just show off some of the key items I've gotten within the past, I don't know, a couple months or whatever. So let's just jump right into it. So, item number one, we have a Japanese complete in box copy, Pilot Wings 64. I loved Pilot Wings on the Super Nintendo. I mean, pretty much everybody's played Pilot Wings on the Super Nintendo. And when this N64 version came out, Pilot Wings 64, I thought it was alright, I thought it was cool. And I actually found a complete in box Japanese version for pretty cheap. Put it in one of these cases to kind of keep it nice and safe. Keep it shaped, because these boxes get broken easily. So. Next on our list, we have the Japanese complete in box copy of Ganbare Goemon. Those of you here in the US, and I think in the PAL region it might be called the same name, Mystical Ninja on the N64. This is the Japanese version of that. Awesome game. Mystical Ninja is actually my favorite game on the N64, so it's pretty cool to actually have a Japanese copy of it. So that's pretty neat. I never thought I'd actually see one in person. I kind of just randomly came across it at a game store. Pretty cheap. I think I got it for like maybe $10. Less than that. Something like that. Somewhere around there. So, yeah, that's all pretty cool. Next up on our list is a North American release of Automobili Lamborghini for the N64. It's complete in box, and I have all the N64 games like in the cases because these boxes are really flimsy. So yeah, Automobili Lamborghini, I remember from like way back in the day. It was very good, if I remember correctly, at like showing speed. Like you actually felt like you were going fast when you were driving really fast in this game. And yeah, it was pretty cool. It's a good racing game, in my opinion. At least I like it. So. Next up on our list, we have, oh man, one of my favorite games of all time is the original WarioWare on the Game Boy Advance. And oh man, so many memories for that game. I freaking love WarioWare. And so I found a complete in box Japanese copy of WarioWare for the Game Boy Advance. In Japan, it's called, as you can see right here, Made in Wario. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, this camera angle is a little janky. I'm actually balancing my camera on a stack of DVDRs and a Monster Energy drink. I mean, it's pretty much my life in a nutshell. So, yeah, Japanese copy of WarioWare, always pretty awesome. So I actually got this for like pretty cheap too, actually. I buy games on the cheap, son, because I'm a cheap motherfucker. Next up on our list, we have a complete in box copy of one of my favorite games of all time, and that's Mortal Kombat 2 on the 32X. And if you can see here, it's actually signed by Daniel Pesina. I met Daniel Pesina at New Jersey GamerCon, and he signed it for me. For those of you who don't know, Daniel Pesina is the original Johnny Cage, the original Scorpion, the original Sub-Zero, among a couple other ninjas and stuff. Like you got Reptile, Noob Saibot, and all that. So it was really cool to meet him. Really awesome guy. Got to chat with him about his, you know, his days in Mortal Kombat, and I chat with him about, you know, his, you know, like martial arts and things of that nature. Really humble guy. Really, really awesome guy. Very happy to meet him. Next up, we have a complete in box copy of Sin and Punishment for the Nintendo 64. From what I understand, this game's apparently a little hard to get. I don't really know if that's true. I found this complete in box at a store, and it's a little beat up. There's some like holes in the case, and for some reason, and it's kind of disgusting actually. If you open this box, whoever owned it before me, like it smells like fucking cat shit. I'm just like. The fuck? Ew. But I got it for cheap, so you know I put it in this little plastic case, doesn't smell my room up. But yeah, Sin and Punishment, Japanese N64. Oh, I just dropped dropped all that. Next up on our list, another Japanese N64 game, and that's J2 Wonder Project. I never actually heard of this game, and when I saw it, I was just like, yo, this looks pretty cool. It's, from what I gather, a point-and-click, like, anime adventure game. The art style is kind of reminiscent of, like, Studio Ghibli art. I don't know who the artist is on this. I haven't really done too much research on it. I did play it for a little bit. It was pretty cool. So, pretty interesting game. I don't know if there's an English translation, but the Japanese isn't that tough in this. I was able to get through like an hour of gameplay, but yeah. So that's Wonder Project J2, or J2 Wonder Project, however it's pronounced. But yeah, pretty cool game. Very happy to add it to the collection. So, let's get on to the good stuff, shall we? So, I was at a flea market, right? Englishtown Flea Market. For those of you who don't know what Englishtown Flea Market is, if you're familiar with Pat the NES Punk, his first Flea Market Madness was at Englishtown Flea Market. So, representing New Jersey. Anyway, so, I got a copy, and I'm so happy to finally have a fucking copy of this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, baby, for the Super Nintendo. This is actually an aftermarket case. I bought just the cartridge, which is in like a pretty damn good shape, actually. Got it for 20 bucks. $20, that's it. This cartridge is kind of expensive. I don't know, like maybe the guy was selling off a private collection or whatever, and you know, he gave it to me for 20. I tested the cart. Everything works well, so yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. In my opinion, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, fucking beat-em-up game ever made. Awesome game. A lot of fond memories playing this game in the arcade, as well as on the Super Nintendo. Shouts out to my boy, a man named Jane. You know who you are, man. My turtle, bro. So, next up on our list, we have a, not complete in box, but a box nonetheless, power-based converter. For those of you who don't know, a power-based converter is a device that lets you play Master System games, as well as HuCards, the Sega Genesis, or the Mega Drive, depending on where you are. For those of you who don't know, the Model 1 Sega Genesis, and maybe the Model 2? I don't remember if the Model 2 has it, but the Master System hardware is pretty much in there, and it's backwards compatible. So yeah, you just kind of take this out. I don't want to take it apart, but the little device is right in here. Stick it on top of the Genesis, and then you can play Master System games, which is pretty sweet. Moving on, so I had a family member, right, who was moving to Florida, and they hit me up, and they're like, "Hey, James, so I got this this thing here, and I wanted to know like how much, you know, you think it's worth." And the photo they sent me, and I was just like, nice. I told them how much it was worth, and they then came back and asked me if I wanted it. So, for a very discounted price, I got a complete in box Nintendo Entertainment System action set with the, I don't know if you can see that, but the gray zapper right here. So, yeah, it's complete. Console works. I think I need to change the 72-pin connector in it because it wasn't reading too well. Clean carts were reading like, you know, half the time. So I think the connector needs to be changed. So yeah, got great gun. They gave me a copy of Mario, or they gave me the packing game, which is the Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt combo cart. And yeah, so that was really cool of them. Thank you so much. I'm definitely happy to add this to my collection. And the box is alright. So yeah, cool. So, last item on my list, right? This is a game that I've been chasing for a while, right? And when I say a while, I mean a while. Now, lately I've been collecting a lot of N64 games, and, you know, you saw in the previous games that, yeah, you know, I've been getting there, you know. And there was one game that I thought I would never be able to get my hands on, right? Those of you who collect for the N64 know that some of the hardest games to get for the system, as of right now, but this could always change, are, what is it, Yoshi's Story Not For Resale version, Sculptor's Cut Clay Fighter, Ogre Battle 64, and some other games. Ogre Battle not so much, hard to find as the others, but when you do find it, it can be kind of expensive. Now, speaking of Ogre Battle, Ogre Battle is a game that I've been interested in for a while because it's kind of rare, kind of not, but it's still uncommon and like just cool to have because you don't see it so much. So like the fact that you can add it to your collection, like not even for bragging rights, just for the sake of having an item that is just, you know, kind of harder to get. And like for me personally, like I don't really care about bragging rights or anything like that. Unless it's, you know, something crazy, but I don't really have something crazy. But, you know, there are some games that you like to kind of hold on to because it's like a part of history, or it's like, you know, it kind of like brings you back. It kind of like encapsulates a piece of your childhood, like forever. And for me, that game is Ogre Battle 64. Now mind you, I never thought I'd ever see a copy of this, just like kind of out in the wild, for me to just go and get for a pretty decent price. Until one day I went to a store, and in their N64 section, they just so happened to have a copy of Ogre Battle 64. And baby, that shit is sealed. Yep. I have obtained a sealed copy of Ogre Battle 64. Big ups to Jay from the Game Chasers, who actually helped me to verify that the seam is factory. So it's a factory H seam, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I got it for 78 bucks, which, yeah, it's kind of expensive, but given the fact that, like, that's even less than a complete in box copy of Ogre Battle, from what I understand from some of the prices that I've seen, you know, on like eBay sold listings and like other things like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm probably never gonna open it because, from what I understand, it's kind of hard to find this game sealed. You know, I'll keep it sealed just for the sake of, you know, keeping it sealed. I mean, it's whatever. I'll eventually find an open card of it and I'll just play that. So yeah, I'm super happy to have this. I wouldn't say it's the rarest game in my collection, but it's definitely a more obscure game that I'm proud of, you know, having. Yeah, so Ogre Battle 64, sealed. Even though it's sealed, there's a bit of damage on the box. It's a little smushed in just a little bit, but it's all good, man. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find a good case to put it in so it doesn't rip. But yeah, so Ogre Battle 64 sealed, which is pretty sweet. So that about wraps up my first episode of Game Collect. I hope you like it. I hope to make this a series, maybe like, you know, once every 2 months or something. Just kind of showing some of the things that I picked up, you know. Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. That's up to you. But hey, thanks for watching. You know, you made my day. Thank you, you know. Thanks for watching. I don't know what else to say. So anyway, I hope you all have a great night. It's like 2 a.m. here right now. It's nice and quiet, so I figured I would record now. So yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, have a nice day.